One, two. Come on, Twitch. You got it. You got it. Yeah. All right. Here we are. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another Wednesday, Cloud Native Wednesday. Or, Jennifer, what do you call it?
My computer's totally taken off.
I can hear the jet engine over there.
Oops,
What?
I was muted.
No, you're
Or
good.
not muted, I had you muted.
Yeah, okay, you're good. Yeah, is it? C and what is it? CNW?
Seeing you Wednesdays.
Seeing you Wednesdays. All right. Yeah, actually, we should put that in here. I'm gonna just edit this real quick. So CNU. Is that it? Should I spell it CNUW or what?
Capital N.
Like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like seeing you and cloud native.
Something like that. We're gonna have to iterate on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right. So anyway, welcome again to Seeing You Wednesdays, Cloud Native Wednesdays. It is great to have all of you here, and it is great to be back. So, if folks remember, we've been talking about Dapper, and Dapper is pretty cool. We're going to show more of that. Before we get into that, I'm Aaron, one of the co-hosts. I work at Microsoft, and I am here with another one of my co-hosts. Jennifer, take it away.
I'm Jennifer, and I also work at Microsoft on the open source team for advocacy. And so we are excited about some cloud nativeness.
Yeah, cloud nativeness. Yeah, so actually, before we go into it, we haven't really said what cloud native is, have we?
I realized that when I was tweeting today. I was like, you know,
We should do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to start us off. There is actually a website for cloud native. So cloud native is there's a foundation around cloud native called the Cloud Native Computing Foundation.
I
So
totally thought you were about to show me something I hadn't seen. Like I was like, there's a cloud native site.
no, no. So there's a lot of stuff in here that I guess the charter is sort of close to what it is. Um, but it defines cloud native by saying cloud native one, two, three, at least three times, four. So not the best, not the best definition here. Um, so Jennifer, I wanna pause. Do you have a good definition off the top of your head for cloud native?
Um, I don't know that I would say it's good, but I have an understanding of
That's a
cloud
start.
native.
That's a
And
start.
so, like, from an ops perspective, we've had to deal, like, it's funny because people, when I say ops perspective, that's just my background comes from doing ops
Uh huh.
stuff. Doesn't mean I don't think of myself as a developer, to be clear, but we think about like we had to build all this shit and we had to manage all this shit and we don't want to do all of that because it's not fun in the data center getting your clothes ripped because you've
Yep.
had to like go set up some new systems. And so cloud native to me is about applications and services that have been built with the concept of not having to do everything yourself. So, like scaling stuff out, maybe use managed services. You leverage APIs that exist rather than so there's an element of programmatic capability to spin up systems and services that you need rather than doing it all yourself. And so, like I said, not a good definition, but kind of like the feels around what cloud native is.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I'm pretty similar. I'm definitely with you on like the cloud aspects, like using managed services and APIs. Um, my perspective comes from the Kubernetes side more than like the cloud side. Those things super dovetail, obviously, but for me, like coming from that side of things, cloud native to me is basically offloading all of the cloud ops stuff from your plate, from your DevOps team's plate, basically from your organization's plate, and instead using a single declarative API for all of that instead of picking up like the Azure Go SDK or using the Azure CLI or whatever.
Okay, we're gonna have a fight
Okay,
now
let's
because
fight. Let's
you
fight.
don't offload all your cloud ops. Like you literally have to do all the cloud ops. What you don't have to do is all the ops stuff that's like the toil work. Somebody's doing it, but it's not me. So like
Mm-hmm.
if you've ever had to deal with a data center where the cables are all over the place and then you've got new equipment you have to deploy and like people have like free reign in your data center because like that's what happens in an engineering lab and it's terrible.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
hell that you no longer have to deal with. Like you don't have to deploy like the literal hardware into the center anymore. And in some cases, you get to leverage particular applications, even like reducing the operability
Mm-hmm.
problems. Somebody else is handling them, but you still have so much that you have to like handle. Like there's been cases where it's like, oh yeah, like there's limitations that your provider is going to have, good limitations because they're trying to solve for the average use case, but you still have to figure out how to make things production ready, and that's where all of the cloud ops really comes from. Like so you actually like you need cloud ops, and that's like all the operability around doing cloud native.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It changes. Like I don't have to cable up the cables
Yeah.
in the data center anymore,
Right.
but I do have to think about like what are my limits that all of these services provide.
Yeah, so
So,
to me, I think that's where we diverge. Is to me, like going from not doing cables in the data center to, or going from doing cables to not doing cables, like that's cloud. And that's when you hit like VMs and maybe managed databases even and VNets and all of like the infrastructure as a service stuff. When I think of the next step, that's when I start thinking of cloud native. That's when you start like abstracting away some of the lower level cloud stuff. So, like an example of that, obviously Kubernetes and containers, but stepping one step beyond that into like this idea of single API. Like what I'm thinking of is if you deploy a thing called a service into Kubernetes, you get a full load balancer with a public IP, potentially even a DNS name, and all of the internal networking that goes to your one or many containers to serve up that service. And it's all done with like one API in a YAML file. So to me, that's
uh,
cloud native. It's like increasing the level of ops or decreasing the level of ops you have to do or
oh,
increasing the abstraction layer.
so the complexity of the operability work becomes stronger
Yes.
because like it's all like hidden from you
Yes.
and you don't get it's kind of like when I think about serverless, right? Serverless is totally cloud native. But you don't have the same free stuff that you get from observability of like just dumping a service
Exactly.
onto a VM or your own server. You can monitor your CPU, your disk utilization, all of these different things, and it gives you insight into your systems
Yep.
that you might not have with the app itself. So with like serverless apps, you have to instrument them early on before they're production ready. Like if it's not instrumented, it's not production ready for a
Mm-hmm.
serverless application. And so like to me, like so much stuff gets like forgotten about because like okay, when something breaks, how do you fix it? And that's happened to me where like I was an SRE for an organization and it was like people are like, oh, this thing is broken. It's been broken for a while, but we're not sure why. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is so exciting. I get to dig into serverless. And then the more I dug into it, the more I was like, I hate this
Yeah.
because I love it because it's like we're abstracting up a level, but I can't see what's going on. And what ended up is I ended up logging into the systems that are underneath the serverless
Yeah, right.
application.
But you know what?
So
Actually, you just brought up a good point. It's like we were talking about APIs. I think this idea, like the cloud native idea, is giving developers an API to interact with the ops teams that are on the other side. Because like the ops teams are operating like the VMs and the databases and all that stuff to provide that to the developer, but the developer is not having to interact directly with that team. They interact with an API that that team on the ops side provides to them. That's kind of, I kind of
Yeah,
see you saying that. If you are, I totally agree with that.
yeah, and you have to think about some of this stuff. Like as you're building your app, what is it that you're getting out of it and how you're planning for that app? So, like if you think about cloud native in terms of like what is it if you're putting it into the system, like what kind of resilience and reliability are you getting out and what are the potential impacts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're just thinking about like, oh, I just have this functionality, then and that's good. Like even if you get it down to like a single function, there's some kind of aspect like what happens if you overload a database,
Yeah.
like you're just calling the database,
Yeah.
like what happens? Well, maybe you need to put some kind of circuit breaker or something. Like
Yeah.
you need to think about the architecture of your design a lot more um, early on, which is probably something that should happen for large monolith applications anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, so
So I want to
I
talk
don't know.
about this for hours more.
We could talk about it
Yeah.
forever. I think
So
it's actually relevant to our application now
yeah.
that we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Though,
Let
too.
me hit the chat real quick. ASW 101 says if your thing is deployed in response to a support ticket, it's probably not cloud native. Your network
Right.
engineers still have to architect a secure system. Yeah. I mean, I think we're both pretty much in agreement with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like if your developer could be your network security
Yeah.
engineer.
Yeah. You own it all. All right. Yeah. Let's get into it. So, last week we did a lot. Last week was awesome for me at least. We went through Go a little bit. There were some awesome questions in the chat. So if you're here wondering about Go, this is a fine place to ask about Go. Me and Jennifer do another Go thing on Monday, but this is also absolutely fine to ask about that here. So we went into that a bit. We talked about, is it a good language for noobs, new programmers, or new Go programmers as well? Like, how is it to learn Go? Um, we went into our app like heavy. We started going into this repo, OSSCDA / Cloud Native Project. And we started with the Hello World example here. We're going to get into this a lot more today. But basically, we started into it. We actually got something working, and we figured out what was the deal with that port problem that we ran into 2 streams ago, and then like we solved it, and we really got a good understanding of it last week. We also got a issue out of that that we submitted to the samples repo issue to fix some of the docs up to make that port stuff a little bit clearer so that the next person wouldn't hit what we hit. And then we started coding a new version of Hello World. I think you can see maybe the commit for that. Anyway, we'll see the code. The idea was Dapper provides an abstraction. So we were just talking about this. Me, Jennifer, we were just talking about this API. And you mentioned, you even predicted the future and said, like, we're about to get into this. Dapper has this API to store key value pairs. This sample here shows how to use that, but it doesn't allow you to extend it to have multiple key value pairs. So that's what we started coding last week. I think we should jump into that now. What do you think, Jennifer?
I think so. And so to give a little more like background, because like what we were discovering is like in the first I feel like it was like 3 episodes ago, we were talking about like what is this doing and what is it actually done? And we are like, why if we make an order, like this looks like it only saves one key value. And like if
Yeah.
you're making orders, you often don't think about this as the last order. But you know, one of the things I wanted to go back to is to understand before we actually dig in code a little more is these concepts of the service invocation and the state management. And now I'm kind of wondering is like what is the goal of this sample? Like it only stores one. Is the idea that you would store the state of a single order and maybe you add a little more context there? Or is this like to keep track of all orders as different people are coming in? Like, did
Yeah,
we redefining it?
I think we're redefining that. Let me go down. Yeah, so before this was actually, let me go into the original repo for this. So the original repo is Dapper samples. So we go into the hello world example here. And the original one had slash order that would get a single order. And then slash new order, you would post a single new order to it. So like this is what we had, and we evolved it into having a list of orders. But to your question, Jennifer, I feel like this was sort of meant to store only the latest order and maybe have some extra context here. But like the way that I saw that was like, hey, let's evolve it to have more. Let's evolve to be a more full featured ordering system, kind of.
So can we kind of sort of think about what it is this app is doing? Because I feel like there's something missing and sort of like I'm totally cool, like we're evolving it, but what is our goal? And then what is that feature that we're using in Dapper? Like is this is a state store. What would a state store like what is it used for? So like just to map it out so people like wanting to try this out, is it we're not using it as state management anymore then, right? We're using it as like a data
Yeah,
store.
yeah. I guess I'm kind of thinking let's try to let's try to take this primitive thing, like not primitive as in like not evolved, but like a primitive core building block that Dapper gives us. That is key value storage. And it calls it a state store, but let's try to make that more look like a like key value database. That's kind of what I was going
So
for.
why wouldn't we use the concept of the resource binding then? I guess that's where I'm tripping up because
Good
that's like
question.
that would be the database one, right?
Let's check out what that means. What is a resource binding? It's under concepts,
I guess that's when you
bindings.
want to respond to something else that's happening.
I think so. Trigger your app with events coming in and going out. This,
Okay,
yeah.
so then maybe state management is like this feels
Well,
weird.
let's read about state management too. Because I totally might be just like overloading it. Maybe there is a better way to do it. Key value storage. Oh, there's not much here, huh? Key value storage APIs for state management. It can use these APIs to leverage any of the supported state stores without learning another SDK. It has, this is what I think is super cool. Maybe we could get into this stuff later. But it provides concurrency controls for you, consistency. It'll do retry and
It's
bulk.
eventually consistent.
Some of them are. Some of the underlying are. It's a leaky abstraction.
So we should not put a banking app on top of a state store.
Probably not.
So maybe ordering IDs is not a good fit.
Maybe not. Well, actually, you know what? It could be. It could be because we are not relying on any of the previous orders to figure out what the new order ID is.
I'm kind of wondering if it's so I think what it's supposed to like what it's supposed to be it's that it's so you could have a shopping cart and you're storing your states and you can add to your shopping cart.
I think so. And that would
And so
be,
really it's a shopping cart versus an order or like a state of an order. I don't know.
I feel like that'd be, I think either use case would probably be okay here. Because really, if you're talking about an order that's queued up to like be fulfilled, that's fine because you'll put something into the state store right here, and then some back end, like a back office software, will consume it. It'll take it out. So actually, now that we're talking about this, maybe PubSub would be better here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering about is like you publish an order and then there's something else that consumes it's like this is see to me this is the operability piece. This is
Mm-hmm.
like what is this actually doing?
Mm-hmm.
What is the impact? And like are we using it the right way?
But you know
And this
it's
goes back
cool.
to the design, like thinking through the design. So
Yeah, I mean we definitely haven't done that at all. But you know, I guess this is a cool process to me because we've got all these abstractions and now like we're getting kind of getting ourselves out of trouble because we didn't think through the design and now we get some leeway to think it through and like kind of recover from our lack of forethought.
can we keep going with where you sort of progress to with this multiple order thing? Because I'm kind of wondering how we can break it. Like if
Oh,
we
I
keep
I
going,
think it's already broken. But
no,
let's
but
see.
like wouldn't that be cool? Like we can see like don't do this particular kind of thing because this is why it's not suited for this.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that it is already broken, but
I'm
let's
not
try.
sure because you were working on some stuff, so like then I missed some of that at the end. Did you get the multi-order going?
Well, let me show you where I got to. I'm gonna
Awesome.
just look up the command. So this is the command to run the Node.js app. I'm literally gonna run it. So app's up and running, and then I'm gonna head back over here and curl the new order. Curl, curl, curl. This is posting messages to your service. Okay.
And
So
so anybody who wanted to follow along, they could find this in our OSS repo, right? Just like
yeah, cloud
uh,
native project.
Cloud Native Project. Cool, cool. I'm just gonna paste that in.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I think I changed the format of this. Let me go back and see the format of the post request that you're supposed to pass now to this new order method. I'm gonna head back. It's requiring a data, and inside of that needs to be an order ID key. So I'm gonna go back and see what it looks like here. Also, there's a data and there's an order ID key. So I think it's fine. I don't think I changed it. I thought I did, but I guess I did not. So anyway, I'm gonna try it out.
Awesome. So you've already got it running?
It is running, but I'm not sure if it's right. The code's right. Okay, here we go. Oh, Node app not found. What did I do? App ID is Node app. Okay.
You know,
Maybe.
this will block until the app is listening.
Oh, is the app not listening? Yeah, the app's not listening. Oh, can I find Module Express? I think I forgot to npm install here.
Dun dun
Dun, dun,
dun.
dun. How do I get out of this? Maybe I can't. Okay. Try a new tab. Oh, it just happened. Cool. All right, so we're gonna npm install here. Okay. Let's run it again. And we should have that log. Yeah. Okay. So it's running fine. Now let me do my Dapper run. Wow, it's still not good. All right. Maybe one of the curls will work, because I didn't run into this last time. Let's try a curl. Oops. So let me get into the right directory and do this curl. So it's hanging. Yeah, this is what I hit last time. I'm not sure why the Dapper command didn't work, but the curl one is working for now. So what happened was I curled it, and this is the one to create a new order. And now
Hmm.
it's hanging. And when I went back over here, I saw this. Type error, cannot read property, order ID of undefined. That was on line 36. So I headed over to line 36 of app.js, and I see this. And I'm sort of confused because I didn't change any of this, which is very weird. So I was thinking maybe I need to just print out what data is. Something like that.
We gotta get some tyranny JavaScript love.
Uh-huh. He's probably eons better than me at figuring out how to debug this stuff. Okay, so the thing is running again. I'm gonna try my curl again. Oh. Oh wait.
Oh, did it work?
This time I got one, but now I got a promise rejection.
Could not get state.
Could not get stay. Okay, well,
Unhandled promise reject. Wait, wait,
let's.
wait. I want to read the
Sorry.
rest of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Sorry.
error. This error. Uh, this error originated either by throwing inside of an async function without a catch block, or by rejecting a promise.
Oh, I didn't
Deprecate
handle. So I kind of want to go into a bit of a rabbit hole here. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then you tell me if you want to accept it or reject it, as is happening with our promise here.
Oh, so do you know what's going on?
I think I know what's going on.
Oh, cool.
So I think what we did wrong here was we forgot to do down here. We forgot to do an it's like a catch. So you're supposed to do a catch. You're supposed to pass a callback to the catch, and then do whatever with the.
But isn't that the line right above it? Like, just copy that thing above you. Like, see that catch error? Like, nope, nope.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. This is
right,
different. Okay.
like,
Yeah. I'll do that.
similar.
Yeah. So I need to break it down though, for my own sanity and hopefully to explain it to everybody here.
Yeah.
So okay.
Did you add something here, though?
I just added this at the very end.
No,
What
no,
I
no, no, no. Like, did you add something that makes it so that we need this?
Yes. Okay, yeah. So here's
Okay.
what I'm doing. In order to do a list of order IDs instead of just one, I had to grab the existing list of orders out of the storage, and then I had to append the new one onto the end.
Got it.
So the outer fetch, there's two fetches now. There's an outer fetch that grabs the list and then changes it into JSON. And then there's a handler that grabs the JSON and then adds the order to the list right here on line 50. And now it's going to put the thing back in. It's putting the new list back in. So that's the inner fetch. And then now
Okay.
I've got the inner fetch. Now I've got a bunch of inner dot vens and dot catches. So this is like crazy confusing. So maybe we should try it first and then I can try to go into my slightly deep rabbit hole. Or we can decide to, I guess. Are you up for that?
I am totally up for it. Tyranny is available if we want to have him join.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can he join our Skype call?
I can't. I don't think I can do that on the
Oh,
fly.
that's right. Because
Yeah. Can't do it on the fly.
okay, good to know. Good to know. Uh, but he might be able to help us
Yeah, maybe
figure
he
this
could
out.
hop in the chat or something like
Yeah,
that.
because I feel like we've turned this into Spaghetti code.
Yeah, yeah, we have. That was me, not
It's
me. That
cool.
was my fault.
No, it's cool.
I think I know how to fix it, but
Okay.
I would like to hear it from him for sure. Let me, in the meantime, I'm gonna try this out and
Yeah,
see what
yeah, no.
happens. So clear it out.
Dun 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 dun
Connection
dun.
refused. Oh, that's my curl. There we go. Okay, now let's curl it. Could not get state. Okay, well, it didn't hang. That's a start.
What's going on in the other window?
The other window
Did we
is
just fail out
this.
because we caught it?
Yeah,
Or
could not get state. So we need to print out more about that error because that's not helpful at all. Um, what do we? Is there like an error dot stack trace or trace? Interesting. How about
isn't it
oh,
oh uh,
no, no.
yeah.
Tell me. What do you got?
Oh no, no, we're like if we go up a little bit, like isn't it where do we actually print out that failed to which error is it? 'Cause is it the failed to persist or failed to get could not get state right there?
Yeah, I don't know which one it is, honestly.
Do we
I
have
was
two places we say could not get state?
so we're not printing could not get state anywhere.
Yes, you are.
Oh, we are.
Right there.
I thought we were not. Sorry. All right.
That's it's like it's right there. It's right there. That's
Oh, my
us.
bad. I was
So
going off of the totally the wrong assumption. My bad. Okay.
it's like right there, that thing right there.
Like,
Okay.
oh, where is it, Jennifer? I don't see it.
I
Okay.
should have said line 44. Uh,
Okay.
but you were going up and down. So I was
Yeah,
like,
my bad, my bad. Okay.
it's all good.
Oh man.
Okay. So
That's embarrassing.
that was awesome though.
Oh yeah.
Um, okay. So uh, can we just try to fetch that orders?
Yeah. Oh, wait. We have a slash orders. We're trying to get all of the data for the orders key back.
Is
But
it,
we what do you say?
what, go ahead.
So we're trying to get all the data back for the orders key, but we just started Dapper up. So there's no orders key at all. So
So we have to do some air like some if it doesn't exist
yeah, I think so. Here's what I think is going on. Oh, let me go to the chat real quick. Hey, Eric.dev, we are taking the original like order system. Like you can submit an order using Dapper, and it used to only store one order at a time, which would have been like pretty bad for the like the revenue stream, if you will. And we're changing that up so that we can accept and store multiple orders at any time and like kind of have a pipeline of orders, sort of.
We think we're kind of abusing the state store
Yeah.
intentionally.
Yeah.
I am definitely not a node expert. So we are our code now looks a little spaghetti like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so our project I pasted it in there, but I'll paste again, is here. It's the it's the hello world, and is it up to date now with the order stuff?
Yeah, it has obviously not the stuff I did today, but it's got the new like yeah, multiple orders thing. Let me go in here and make sure actually that it's got that. Yeah.
We're 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 magical.
Yeah. So,
We're doing a lot of console logging.
yeah. So we're right here though. We're right
Yeah.
here and I think basically if there are no orders, we should just have an empty list.
Well,
Uh,
before we change it, maybe Tierney has some ideas about how we can get more out of the error log.
Sounds
Because like
good.
we're printing this could not get state, but it would be nice if we are failing out like to get more than I think at the bottom you were like trying to do like error log
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So, bit and bang, right here, we're trying to figure out where this error came from. So, like, we're wondering if there's a better way than just logging the error. Yeah, we are using promises. That was my rabbit hole. Should we use async await bit and bang? Is that the right thing here? I think we should. Yes. Okay, we're doing it then. We're gonna do it.
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
Okay.
So
This was magical.
there's a right way to do it, and I've never learned it. All right.
Oh,
So we've got orders text equals this thing, and now we've got const orders JSON equals blah blah blah.
okay, you gotta give me more syntax. Like you're just like whoosh.
Yeah. No. Let me pause. Um, orders text. So I replaced the whole promise thing where I did fetch and then I did dot then. I replaced all of that with await, the await keyword, basically.
Okay.
So now the node is going to do some fancy, awesome stuff under the covers, but for me, the developer, I just get the text back. Like when I get to the next line, I know that, okay, I've got the text back. That being said, I'm going to hop in the chat real quick because I see Bit and Bang has about 80 lines saying what I did right and wrong. I need to await the fetch. Okay, got that.
Got that.
I need to make the function at the top async. So that would be here. Is that what you mean, Bit and Bang? I hope. We're going to see. Oh, sweet. Okay, I got a yes. I got a yes
This
from
is
Bit
so
and Bang.
cool. I'm learning Node.
Yeah.
Woo!
Learn Node from the experts in the chat. Thank you for coming, by the way, Bit and Bang. We appreciate your help a lot. You have no idea.
We were going down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Now we're like not deep in the rabbit hole. We're kind of like shallow and going in parallel with like the Dapper stuff, I feel like. So this is probably better.
This is the real world experience. This is what people are like
Yeah.
doing. This is gonna.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so
Eric.dev says, I really want to do some Electron stuff. If you ever want to do Electron stuff, I would watch that stream, Eric.dev, if you want to stream it. That'd be cool. And I know
let's
Bit and Bang does some too.
if Bit and Bang would be up for it, we could totally do a thing, and it would be all like, let's have fun building a thing.
That would be fun. Yeah.
For me,
Uh, let's do. All right. So yeah, creating JSON also returned a promise. So we've got to await that. Now we are ready to just take our actual business logic I'm just going to unindent it here. So we get our...
Can you talk through like what this is doing?
Yep,
So
for sure.
we are like at the top of this function, we added an async, and that's gonna do what?
So this is, I don't know exactly in Node what this means, but in general, async is an identifier, indicator to the compiler, and I guess in Node it'd be the interpreter, that there are awaits coming, and that these awaits mean that there will be a promise return from this function. So bit and bang, if do you have a better explanation of what's going on here? That's like node specific. I'm gonna keep typing, and when we get something in there. Oh, async functions are sugar over promises. Okay, cool. So yeah, this one returns a promise. So await says basically wait for the promise to come back.
When you say it returns a promise, what do you mean? Can you say that in English?
Yeah. So fetch returns this basically. So my thing. This is again magical pseudo
No, what is a
fancy code.
promise?
I know, but I have to do this.
Oh yeah, no, no. I was Tyranny goes, this means new promise.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
Okay. So let's say my thing is 1, 2, 3.
God.
My promise thing equals waiting for 1, 2, 3. So my promise thing is not yet the data, but it is a thing that will be that data in the future.
So it's kind of like I'm saying, I I promise this will be right one day.
Not really right. I promise
Like
that
or
it
it
will
will
be
have a
there.
value at some
Yes,
point.
exactly.
Like I'm kind of pre saying something about it, but I kind of want to. Is it? Am I waiting to get the thing back, or I'm saying it's going to exist?
It's this line on 44 is saying it's gonna exist. It might fail too, so it's either gonna be there or it's gonna throw an exception.
Got it. It's. Thank you for the link, Tyranny. This is perfect. The promise object represents the eventual completion or failure of an asynchronous operation and its resulting value.
Exactly. And Bit and Bang used the keyword there, asynchronously. It's gonna return it, but you're not gonna wait for it. You're gonna
Right.
schedule your code to run later when it's done.
Yeah,
Well, you
so it's
keep
not
doing your
like I'm
thing.
blocking on something. I just know that I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
eventually. Okay,
And
cool.
this is magical real code that makes it look like you're waiting, makes it look like you're blocking, but in real life behind the scenes, other stuff can keep going. Other requests can come in, for example. Isn't
It's
that
the solution to callback hell. We now have promise hell.
I wrote an article on this. I wrote an article on this. I got so much shit in the comments for saying all these things, but I'm glad that I have some allies in here in this stream. So thank you all. Um, so let me comment out our magical pseudo fancy code. So we're gonna wait for it to come back. We get just the raw response body in text. I think it's actually in bytes, but I don't know. Maybe. Um, then at line 46, now we've got it. We've got the text. Now turning into JSON also returns a promise for reasons I don't really understand why. But
So
anyway,
it's not because the previous thing is an async
no.
type operation. It's that
No.
JSON. You like okay. So it's the JSON itself.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
see. See that little tooltip, that the IntelliSense thing that pops up? It
Hmm.
says returns promise. The thing after the colon there.
So if it returns, got it.
And what that's saying is returns a promise, and then those little caret characters are saying the type of data that's going to be returned. So this one is saying we don't know. It could be any type. Just because it's JSON.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm going to await that promise. And now, down on line 48, I've got the thing. I've got a JSON list now. So here, I'm just kind of like renaming it to make it look nicer to my eyes, basically. And now we've got non-promisey code. We just say we're going to push our new order onto the list. And then we're going to make up our new dictionary for the state. So at this point, we're ready to put the new list back into storage. I'm going to actually make that more specific. State store. So now we've got another fetch that we have to do to put the thing into the state store. And another fetch means more of this.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do constant save response equals await. And then this fetch. I'm going to unindent all that stuff. So what we're doing here is, and we've seen this, I think we've seen this one before, right? Maybe.
Which one?
This part right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's just doing the post to our endpoint for storage, waiting for that to come back. And now we've got our save response. And at that point, I think we're going to have to do some exception handling. But basically at this point, I'm going to just return 200 to the client. And then I'm going to comment out all this stuff to remind us to do exception handling later on. So let me check out the chat again. Bit and Bang, you are the best. Yeah, we have promise hell. That JSON method is returning a promise. Okay, that's good to make sure we actually know that. And oh, Bit and Bang is
Is
saying,
it the one below?
my bad. Sorry.
Line 58, does that one?
Oh, good question. Let's hover and see. Converts a JavaScript value to a JSON string, and it returns a bunch of stuff.
Doesn't look like it says promise.
Yeah, it returns a string.
And then I guess Bit and Bang is saying let's do a try catch to handle errors.
Okay. Oh, and then also saying stringify does not return a promise. All right, well, let's handle some errors then. Let's do this. I guess that we should do a try catch first for the await. Let's do, I don't know what the right way is to do this. Maybe we need to do like var state. And then we can do catch.
Any recommendations here?
Yeah, Bit and Bang.
I'm like, do we need to try catch all of these, or do we just do one big loop?
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe we should just do that. Let's try that. We're gonna indent all this. You can try and catch everything. Okay. Let's keep going down. Do our save response. Send back 200. And now we've got our try. What about our catch? Bit and Bang says, am I using a linter? Well, that's a great question. Would that be probably an extension? I guess would be.
Does it does say JavaScript at the bottom, so
It does.
Let's get some linting going.
Oh, he's asking, do I have a package.json? I do have a package.json. I don't see anything about linting in here though.
Mhm.
It would be a module you saved as a dev dependency.
You're not
I
using
am
linter.
not using.
Help us use linting. We like
we we
linting.
need to have you on the stream, Bit and Bang. All right, npm dash d standard. Okay.
Oh, everything that Bang is sharing is like a Tia. Today I learned.
Yeah, we should actually do those in a second. The TIL ICYMI and npm I dash G standard. Oh, we got a different dash. Okay, dash G. Install it. Oh, I got to sudo that.
That's cool. Your
Oh,
password's
cool.
1234556.
Yeah. If anyone breaks into my WSL instance, I will just delete it and start over. Okay. So, uh,
Now run standard in your directory.
alrighty, I can do that. Parsing error, missing catch. Okay.
Nice. So we installed the standard package.
That's what did it, I guess. So
Nice.
catch doesn't like what I'm doing, but I'm gonna run standard again and see what happened. Okay, unexpected token close. Can I do that? Maybe I can do that. Maybe we can try something like that for start. You can click the link in the output there and it will put you exactly where the error occurred. Oh. Oh, you mean this line number, Bit and Bang? Like it'll say like line 65 and it'll take you. Yeah, I got you. So I'm going to try running this. Maybe we can get something going here. Let's see. Yeah, I should totally be doing it in VS Code. Sorry, Bit and Bang. I've let everybody down here, but my habits die hard, everybody. I can't get away from the terminal.
So this is the new Die Hard.
This is the new Die Hard. I am Bruce Willis. Look, I don't even have hair. I'm Bruce Willis right here. Right here.
The new Die Hard is Aaron
I
S.
am the yeah, the
Tackling
new
the habits that die hard. Yes, you will use VS Code
you
now.
will. But Bit and Bang has a good point. I am using the wonderful new Windows terminal. And Eric.dev is a kindred spirit to me. They say I mostly use a separate terminal. Yes.
See, like we can get you all on here and be like, these habits are gonna die.
They die hard though. Everybody, they die hard. Okay, I'm pressing enter. Is everybody ready? Who's
Okay,
not
let's
ready?
see.
All right, let's do it.
I'm so ready. Let's
Jennifer.
see.
All right, Jennifer. Strap on your seatbelt. Okay. Stuff is maybe happening. List of order IDs dot push is not a. I guess that was supposed to be a list.
That was amazing. I
Okay.
feel like we need a little device where like you press the button as you're doing it and like it turns on your fan and you do this thing where you go back and we can like just be like we're ready and we're blown away by.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we are at about 5 minutes left. So, should we do our TIL ICYMI
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
All right. So, for those who don't know what this is, Jennifer, are you up for explaining this?
Yeah, it's just a way to end our stream in a nice positive manner to reflect on what we've either learned today or something that's happened in the last week that we want to share. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be about what we've shared today. We'd love to hear from you. Share in the chat anything you want to share with the group about something interesting you learned today. I have learned a lot. And I think my number one thing I'm going to go back from this, well, two things. One is this whole JavaScript standard style. I did not know about this. This is magical. And two, I feel like there's a lot of improvements that we can make to the Dapper sample, like the base sample, about clarity about one, what the project is doing, because we're totally went down this rabbit hole with the state store, and two, like quality JavaScript
Yeah.
examples and borrowing awesome people like Benton Bang. Thank you so much for joining today. So those are my two big ones.
Any ICYMIs? Something you learned this week?
I think those are huge. So
All right. All right. Yeah, folks have other, in case you missed it, stuff they learned today or over the past week, throw them in chat for sure. I will share mine. I learned this week about Knative. That's another cloud native technology. So I learned, let me back up. I learned about all of the JavaScript things as well today, just like you, Jennifer. Especially standard. Actually, Bit and Bang just put standard dash dash fix is your friend into chat. We're going to have to try dash dash fix because I feel like that's going to automatically fix all of our crappy code. All of my crappy code, at least.
can I just like do that everywhere and it'll just fix all my JavaScript?
Yeah. Can I have like house dash dash fix so like clean everything up and fix all the paint chips and everything?
Up to the standard, yeah.
Yeah. So we got that, especially standard, but all the other JavaScript stuff, especially like await and async, like I couldn't describe that very well without you, Bit and Bang. So thank you.
I feel like the code is so much easier to read now. I
Yeah.
was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. I had a moment.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, so yeah, those are my two things. Knative is another a whole different set of streams that maybe we can do in the future, Jennifer. But it's like not really Dapper. It's complementary. You could run Dapper and Knative in your same app, and I think it's fits in a pretty cool spot.
Cool.
So yeah,
I see it says build, deploy, and manage modern serverless workloads. And I'm
serverless.
all about that serverless.
Uh huh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
serverless inside of your Kubernetes cluster, which has servers. So kind of tough to tell whether which part of that is serverless and which isn't, but something there.
Awesome.
All right. So that is it for today, I think. Anything else, Jennifer?
Next week, let's get some observability in here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will have this fixed next week. And yeah, that's going to be a new building block, right?
Yeah, because I totally want to break this. I want to
Yeah.
see all the ways we can, like, why you shouldn't be doing the state store. But before we do that, we should be able to see into it to see what's going on.
Well, actually, it's already broken. So maybe we should not. I'm not going to fix it then. I just
Yeah,
won't fix it. And then we
yeah,
can have observability figure out what's going on with this right there.
awesome.
Perfect. All right, all. Next week, same time, same place, 1:30 p.m. U.S. Pacific time at this very Twitch URL, twitch.tv/ARSchless. If you want to check out old recordings, arschless.com/about, scroll down to Cloud Native Wednesdays, and there will be a link to YouTube right there. Also, there's a link to our GitHub repo for stream agendas like this one. And basically, head over to the same exact GitHub name, except take off the dash stream and put on a dash project. So we'll improve that, get you a better link there, and I'll also put it in the YouTube show notes, which are below if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, I think that's going to be it. That's my spiel. Let's see everyone next week. Bye, all.